and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
It didn't break my heart because you can't let your heart get broken. I mean, I felt it. It hurt me, you know. But I said, you know what? We got to keep going.
The show goes on for some local musicians after their last concert was cut short and everyone was asked to leave. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mike has the evening off. Back in June, a rap concert was shut down at Moorhead's Days Inn. This is video that police captured of that night outside. They say it was a near riot after the manager at the hotel told them to leave. But those at the concert say the problem was the perception of their music and culture shock. Tonight, they'll be finishing the concert that got cut short. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson shows us the struggles that local rappers say they face in our area.
It's that feeling that you can't describe once you're on stage.
Everyone deserves a chance. That's what the owner of Garage Bar said before agreeing to host Spring Jam 18.
Yeah, there we go.
This is part 2, Hip Hop Redemption.
It's just because rap has a bad rap.
Hoping to change some minds.
But you can get that one tucked under your...
Promoter Jason Grant has been putting on Spring Jam every year for 18 years.
You know, like myself personally going to certain venues and saying, we like to do a rap show, you know what I mean? And they're like, no. First thing they say is no. They're like, no, we don't want to do a rap show, you know? He
says without good reason, venues are turning him down, leaving him out time, money, and effort.
They have a negative view on hip hop. They think that, you know, like we're troublemakers or like we came to cause problems and stuff like that.
He wants to shine some light on the positive.
I take it personally because I'm a rapper myself.
He says shows like these give local rappers a place to start and express themselves. Going a step further, this show, they're asking for food and clothing donations.
Instead of pulling the plug before it even gets going, they should give it a chance and just check it out and see what it's all about. Words
the owner of the Garage Bar was convinced by. He and Grant agree with any concert, problems can arise.
Hip Hop Redemption. We're going to show people that we aren't bad.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
We talked to Moorhead Police. They tell us that they are not planning to have any officers at the event tonight, but they did meet with the owner of the bar to talk about safety. Fargo Police tell us that they might have members from the Street Crimes Unit at the event. If they do, it would most likely to be gathering intelligence, they say some people in attendance are known gang members. If you want to go to the concert, it's $10 at the Garage Bar tonight and tomorrow. Doors open at 7 p.m. In a now viral video, a mother opens a new package of Huggies wipes, shows that what could appear to be shimmering shards in the wipes. Other angry mothers and parents took to social media as well, posting their own videos, photos, and stories of alleged glass-tainted wipes. But other parents are skeptical that the substance is glass, and they say they'll continue to use the brand. Huggies posted a response on Facebook saying, "We take any concerns about our products very seriously. We're working directly with this parent to learn more about what happened and how we can help. We have Huggies' full response online and contact information if you have more questions. Just head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story." Well, it's a slightly hazy day out there today, but some sunshine's filling in the valley. It's looking quiet now, but some of us are in for some severe storms this weekend. Let's talk to Hutch to get the very latest. Hutch?
Yes, if you have any plans at all to do some outdoor activities this weekend, know that Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening, the weather could be quite bumpy. A chance of severe weather, especially from the Red River into portions of western Minnesota and even into eastern Minnesota by later in the evening. As storms will pass through, large hail, damaging wind will be the main threats. Now, as you look at your evening tonight, I expect no weather in Fargo besides the hazy and breezy conditions. We'll stay in the 80s through sunset, then drop into the 70s. We'll have details in hour by hour style on what you can expect as we go through the forecast this weekend. But suffice it to say, a tale of two sides of the coin. Summer-like weather with storms on Saturday, cold and damp on Sunday.
Oh, all right. We'll be prepared, though.
Yes, more in a minute.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. A Minnesota Wild assistant coach was arrested and charged today with 2 counts of second-degree DWI. The second charge includes aggravating factors because he was twice the legal limit with his 12-year-old son in the vehicle. 43-year-old Daryl Sador was on his way to his son's hockey game when they got lost. Another motorist saw him swerving and called police to report it. When authorities arrived, they noticed Sador's vehicle was weaving in between lanes before he turned into a church parking lot to make a U-turn. His 12-year-old son was sitting in the front seat navigating Sador to the hockey game. It's Friday, time to get a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Joshua Fearing is wanted for probation violation on possession of drug paraphernalia. Call law enforcement if you have any information on him. Too much lint in a clothes dryer is being blamed for a Grand Forks house fire. Crews responded to 1017 Cherry Street at 7 last night. A dryer in the main floor had caught on fire. The main floor of the home, along with the basement, received heavy smoke and fire damage. The family was able to get out safely and are now being housed by the Red Cross. 2 more people are applying to be Fargo's police chief, bringing the total now to 22. Applications will be accepted until midnight tonight. 2 Fargo police administrators are among them. The latest, Lieutenant Joel Vettel. Interim Chief Dave Todd also applied. They are the only 2 from the Fargo department so far seeking the post. Mayor Tim Mahoney says he'd like to have the job filled by late September or early October. The chief's position opened up after Keith Turnus resigned in November. The start of school sports season's right around the corner, and with that, the issue of safety comes to the forefront. The National Federation of State High School Associations estimated that about 140,000 students playing high school sports suffer concussions every year. Many go unreported. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's working to bring that number down, pushing legislation called the Protecting Student Athletes from Concussions Act. Durbin's legislation includes a policy that would require students who are suspected of having a concussion to stay out of the game. The bill would also force schools to notify a student's parents if an injury occurs and get a written release from a healthcare professional before the student can return to play. All states would have 5 years from the bill's enactment to issue guidance to schools about concussion plans. A state that fails to do so will forfeit 5% of federal formula funding for the first year and another 5% the second year. The launch of a new web page where families can remember and honor loved ones they've lost started today. It's called the Motor Vehicle Crash Memorial Site. The page is a place for families of crash victims on North Dakota roads to create a memorial in honor of their loved one. But it's also to send a message and create public awareness on traffic safety. The launch of the web page is in conjunction with the annual Labor Day impaired driving crackdown, Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over, that started today, goes until September 7th. People in Red Lake Falls, Minnesota are now turning some national negative publicity into some tourism gold. The Washington Post recently ranked Red Lake County as the ugliest in America based on scenery and climate. Jason Brummel of the Voyagers View Campground and Tubing said he just smiled when he heard this article. He says his own opinion of this being a beautiful place is constantly reinforced by many of the 20,000 people who pass through every summer.
As somebody who gets to hear how beautiful this place is every single day from people all over the world, all over the U.S., you know, it didn't bother me. It's somebody sitting in an office in Washington, D.C. who's never seen this place.
So Brumwell figured, why not get even more free publicity and invite the author of the article for a visit? Today, writer Christopher Ingram said yes to Brumwell's invitation. He's scheduled to spend a couple of days there next week, and we, of course, will have that story for you when he arrives. Later at 6, a food truck festival you can check out tonight and tomorrow is going on.
Smoke-filled skies and temperatures back in the 80s across the valley. We have warm weather to start the weekend and then a bumpy ride for the remainder. All details coming up next.